I'm Elsie Normington and welcome to Elsie's Extracts. Today I want to talk to you about how to survive the pandemic virus. We all know what's happening in our country today. It's Friday the 20th of March 2020 and all the schools have been closed today, which is a very, very significant effect upon our country. There will be a massive ripple effect as a result of all the schools being closed indefinitely. We all know what's happening in society with businesses closing, airlines going down, limited travel, people self-isolating. There's a huge amount of concern and worry, and today I want to bring you a message of hope. I really believe that in order to get through this pandemic, we need to have a plan. Now then, the government, they have their plans, and many organisations all have their contingency plans, but we as individuals need to have our plan as well, because this pandemic is not going to be a sprint, it's going to be a marathon. And I remember when my daughter Julie was training for her marathon. In fact, she's done two. She did the London and the Paris marathon. Boy, the amount of training and practice she did to get that prized medal of being able to run a marathon and say, I did it. And I really believe that as citizens here in UK, we need to have a personal plan as to how we are going to get ourselves through this time. People are in all different situations. Some people have lost their jobs, some are working from home, some are self-isolating. There's a huge raft of responses as a result of this pandemic. So I want to talk to you today about how we're going to get through this, and I believe we need that plan. So first of all, we need to have a plan for our physical lives, secondly our emotional lives, and thirdly our spiritual lives. So let's just think first of all about our physical lives. Now, we've already got guidelines from the government as to what we should be doing. We should be hand washing, we should be self-isolating, limiting travel, not having public gatherings and close contact with groups of people, all these things. And I know I'm seeking to do that, and I hope you are as well. However, it's very important for us to take responsibility for ourselves and to think about the food that we eat. So I encourage you to eat good food, have good nutrition for your bodies, and I also take vitamin supplements every day. And if you can manage to do that, I encourage you to take vitamin supplements, because that helps to feed the immune system. And there's lots of articles online where you can get advice about different supplements that you can take. I particularly like to watch Dr. Mercola, who's from America, and he's a wonderful doctor. He does lots of great podcasts and you can get lots of information from him. So that's the first thing about good food. And I would say to you, please do not panic buy. You know, I was in Farm Foods today and I was talking to the lady on the checkout, and she told me that one of her customers has 3 large freezers stacked in her garage full of food. Now, it's really important that we think sensibly about this, and we also think of others who can't do that, and then when they go to the shop there's nothing much there because other people have bought so much. So I encourage you, please don't panic buy, just buy what you need. So that's good food, and that is so very important. The second part of our physical lives is about staying active. Now, the danger of self-isolating and working from home is that we can become very sedentary, and so I encourage you to make sure that you keep moving. If you've got a garden, go out and walk around the garden. Okay, so I really encourage you, if you do workouts, you can do that in your living room, but I encourage you to keep active. That is so important for all your bones and muscles to keep moving, and particularly for older people. So I encourage you not to become sedentary. That's really important. And the third part of our physical lives is indeed about stimulating activities. I encourage you to have a routine every day. My daughter has got her 2 children at home, and she has got a plan as to what she's doing with her children and ensuring that their education continues. And I think that's great, because there's outdoor play, there's indoor learning, there's all the kind of sensory play and all of that. There's the cooking, which often children enjoy, baking and cooking. So, and if you're an older person, I encourage you to have stimulating activities that you do and not to sit all day watching the television. It's really important to keep on the go and keep your mind stimulated. There may be some cupboards you need to clean out, or one of my friends, in fact, in Singing for Pleasure said we're going to start painting our garden fence, and that's a really big project. That's going to take a lot of time. So get creative about how you can do stimulating activities and have a routine. That is very important. So that's our physical lives, and secondly, our emotional lives. Now, we're spirit, soul and body. We're not just a physical body, we're spirit, soul and body, and so we've got to be aware of every aspect of our body. And so I want to say to you, it's really important to feed your emotions, and I wonder how you do that. So first and foremost, it's really important to keep in touch with people, whether it's through phone or texting or WhatsApp or FaceTime. Make sure that you're keeping in touch, because it's important that we share life together and we encourage one another and affirm one another. We all need that in life to keep our emotions healthy. I'm really strong about this, just the whole thing about keeping your emotions intact, you know, because if you don't, you could easily go down and down into depression. So this is a message today of encouragement and hope for you, so you won't sink into depression, but you'll keep your emotions healthy. And I encourage you to think about topics of things like courage and faith and hope and resilience. You know, resilience is something that we can learn. Resilience is all about our thoughts, our behaviours and our actions, and we can all learn to be resilient. And if there's ever a time we need to be resilient, it's today. And so that's our physical body, our emotional well-being, and thirdly, our spiritual lives. Now, people have all different kinds of spiritual lives. For me, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord Jesus, and I believe in the power of the Bible. And I encourage you to consider that if you don't have any spiritual faith. But it's just so important to have that spiritual life really being channeled through your emotions and your physical body, because that will help to keep you strong in the time of difficulty. You know, in the Bible, 365 times it says do not fear, and that's like one for every day, isn't it? And so I encourage you just to think about that little phrase, do not fear, and I just say that to you today. Do not fear, because fear and anxiety can produce a lot of negative emotions within us, negative energy, which impact all our cells in our body, and actually in itself can actually create ailments. And so I encourage you not to fear, but to hope and have faith and that resilience that we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this pandemic. And I want to finish this little podcast today by saying this, a little extract from the Bible. Proverbs 12 verse 25 says this: an anxious heart weighs a man down, but kind words cheer him up. So today, I hope I've brought some kind words to you today, and I trust that you'll have that hope and that courage and that resilience to get through this pandemic. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.